Hello everyone, my name is Chip. Today, I'm going to be playing Pioneer for the first time. Yes, Lord of the Rings is coming to Modern. Wizards has said that they want people to play the cards, so they will make them Modern legal. Which means if you like non-rotating formats and hate Lord of the Rings, Pioneer might just be the place for you. It has none of the powerful fetch lands and very few free spells in the format. So mechanics like Delve are good, but not entirely band-worthy. Yes, at the time of recording, Dig Through Time was legal. Unfortunately, Wizards cancelled the Pioneer Masters product, and now playing Pioneer leads to a lot of this. And the game has ended. Lovely. Yes, I can win games without even playing them. I'm that good. Today we're playing a bug Lutri deck submitted by Topan. Lutri the Spellchaser, as well as being a very good Ottery boy, was a companion card that Wizards designed with Commander in mind, and the Commander's rule committee immediately said no, banning it the day it was spoiled. The cost of running Lutri as your companion is that each non-land card in your starting deck has to have a different name, which means it's a free companion in any commander deck that can run blue and red cards. When Lutri enters the battlefield, if it was cast, we may copy an instant or sorcery spell we control and choose new targets for the copy.
That still only counts as one!
So because we're running Lutri as a companion, we are running a singleton deck today. As someone who is terrible at commander and designs decks generally with consistency in mind, a singleton deck is a terrifying prospect. The main goal of the deck is to hold our opponent off until we can resolve one of our big threats that can generate advantage and allow us to take over the game. There's a few too many cards in the deck list for a full deck tech, so I'll put the deck list down in the description, and once you've managed to scroll past the novel that is this deck list, please let me know what you think of Pioneer, or if there are any other formats you'd be interested in seeing me take a swing at. And as always, the like and subscribe buttons are there if you're interested in pressing them. And with that all said, let's get on with the games.
So it begins.
Well, hey, we have a game. We've lost the die roll. We reveal our Lutri. Sure, let's keep. Opponent reveals a Loris of the Dream Den, Concealed Courtyard, into an Alcide. Okay, they pass to us. Let's play a Watery Grave tapped, pass the turn there. Bright Climb Pathway, into a SRAM. They swing in for one. SRAM's interesting. This format's version of Hammer Time or Cheerios. Let's play Hinterland Harbor. And let's just destroy the SRAM while we can. Pass the turn there. No blue yet from our opponent, which is a rarity in this format. Godless Shrine, tapped. Demonic Vigor. Ooh, so when the Alcide dies, it returns to their hand. Sentinel's Eyes. Okay, also has Vigilance and is now a 3/3, and they chose not to attack. Pass to us. Let's play Woodland Cemetery, pass the turn there. Opponent does attack this time, gets in for 3. Take it down to 16, they are up to 24, and they're just passing. Okay, let's play a Breeding Pool, tapped, pass the turn I suppose. Another SRAM. What if we go for a Whirlwind Denial on that? Alright, they play a Caves of Koios, and they swing in for 3. Passing to us, Overgrown Tomb. Let's play the Overgrown Tomb tapped. Let's run out Teferi. It's plus the Teferi. Think we can get rid of the Triton here. Pass it there. Opponent is casting a SRAM. Is casting a Sentinel's Eyes, targeting the Alcide. We're going to phase out the Alcide. Sentinel's Eyes has no targets. Goes away. And they pass to us. Assassin's Trophy. Let's draw a card, discard. Wow. Let's get rid of the Blacklance then. And let's Swift End on the SRAM now. Pass the turn there. Alright, Alcide comes back. Swinging in, targeting the Teferi. I think I'm going for an Assassin's Trophy here. Yep. Kaimetra's Blessing. Let's tick up the Teferi. We can discard the Drowned Catacomb. Ooh, Stonecoil Serpent. Protection from multicolored. Okay. Play a Woodland Cemetery. Cast Petty Theft on the Alcide, I guess. Gets rid of the enchantments. And yeah, I'm pretty happy to pass it there. Sentinel's Eyes on the Stonecoil Serpent. Okay, Alcide. Let's counter that. Ethereal Armor. Okay, this is going to be painful. They swing in for 6. Gonna take it. Down to 5. Watery Grave, let's play it tapped. It's got first strike. Let's cast the Hypnotic Sprite. Pass the turn there. Getting Loris to hand. Sentinel's Eyes on the Stone Coil Serpent. I mean, negate's not getting any better. Let's negate it. Unfortunately, this thing's got trample as well, so none of that really mattered. Alright, against this list. Bontu's, Cry, Extinction Event, Disallow. Don't hate the Lochmere Serpent in this matchup. Maybe Vraska. What are we going down? Let's cut down the generic. Look at our top cards and the sensors. Neutralize, pretty good. Yeah, it all seems pretty good. Go down the Triton, the Blacklance Paragon. Run it back like that. Won the die roll. Let's go first. Reveal the Lutri. Yeah, we can keep this one. Let's play Watery Grave. Tapped. Pass the turn there. Plains for our opponent. Into the Stone Coil Serpent. Okay. Passes to us. Hinterland Harbor. Pass the turn there. Concealed Courtyard. Cartouche of Solidarity. Okay. Makes a warrior. Pumps the Stone Coil. Demonic Vigor. Well, let's negate that one. They swing in for 2. We're going to take it. Down to 18. Go to our turn. Drowned Catacombs. Cry of the Canarium. Okay. That dealt with the board. Pass the turn there. And what's cool is we can mission briefing it back in a couple of turns. Opponent does nothing and passes to us. Well, let's play Hinterland Harbor. Run out to Fairy. Tick up to Fairy. I think it is dig through time here. Pass the turn there. Opponent's passing to us. We forgot to tick up our Teferi. Play a Watery Grave tapped. Tick up the Teferi. Discard a Breeding Pool. Pass the turn there. Not used to the old activate loyalty abilities on any player's turn. Text. Let's tick him up. Let's discard the Hinterland Harbor. Heartless Act. Not bad. Let's take him up. Discard an Overgrown Tomb. Pass the turn there. And opponent scoops it up. I mean, you're playing auras. If your hand is full of auras, that's kind of how it works. All right, keep it the same, I guess. Alrighty, game 3. Opponent gets to go first. This is for all of the marbles. Reveal our Lutri. I don't hate this. Concealed Courtyard, into the Stone Coil Serpent. Okay, they pass to us. Let's play the Triome. Tapped. Pass the turn there. Godless Shrine, untapped. Demonic Vigor. Okay. Ethereal Armor. That's certainly a clock that we have to think about now. Swing in for 4. We're going to take it. Down to 16. Go to our turn. Can't kill it because it's colorless. Overgrown Tomb, tapped. Pass the turn there. Caves of Kodios. Sentinel's Eyes. Yep. All that glitters. Okay. Might not be getting much of a game here after all. Swing in for a bunch. We are down to 4. What do we draw? Cling to Dust. That does nothing. Dead, I guess. Let's play Hinterland Harbor. Maybe they make a mistake. Hateful Eidolon. Okay. I mean, I guess we Sultai Charm, but it won't do anything. Ethereal Armor, I suppose. Yep, still dead. All right. Well, there they were just a bit too fast for us there. We had the board wipe too fast. And now we will wait another 10 minutes for another game. Alright, we lost the die roll. Reveal our Lutri. Sure, let's keep this one. Overgrown Tomb tapped, and they pass to us. Let's play an Overgrown Tomb tapped and pass to them. They play a Darkbore Pathway into a Trail of Crumbs, making themselves a food token. Pass to us. Scarab God. Well, let's play a Watery Grave tapped. Pass the turn there. Another pathway from our opponent. Into a Mayhem Devil. So it is a sacrifice deck. Pass to us. Let's play a Breeding Pool, tapped. And let's eliminate the Mayhem Devil. No triggers for you. And they pass. Play a land and a Witch's Oven. Into another Mayhem Devil. Okay. Let's play a Hinterland Harbor. I think it is just Teferi here. Tick up Teferi, draw discard. Think we're ditching negate here. Go to our turn. Or go to their turn, rather. Opponent's swinging it Teferi. We'll try and phase out the creature. That worked. Binding of the Old Gods. Okay, they're going to kill Teferi. Go to our turn. Opt. Okay. Well, I think we just pass here. So we could Nissa, tick up, land, attack. Then they attack Nissa. But I think that's fine. We can't attack anymore. All right, now we'll just keep Frilled Mystic up. Pass it there. Stomping Ground from their Binding of the Old Gods. Swing in for 3. Happy to take it. Another pathway. Another Mayhem Devil. I think that is a Frilled Mystic. Target. Get out of here. Go to our turn. Anticipate. Let's run out Nissa. Tick her up on the Watery Grave. Say no. Cast the Opt in the main in case we can get a land. That's a land. Put on top. Play the Opt. Counter on our Nissa. Pass the turn there. Do we attack? I don't think we do. Alright, creatures you control gain Death Touch. Binding goes away. They deal a damage to the Nissa. Fatal Push. My Frilled Mystic. Sack the food. Gain 3 life. Deal another damage to the Nissa. Gets a Gilded Goose to hand. Plays a Forest. Plays the Gilded Goose. Attacks Nissa. Alright, Nissa down to 1, and then they sack the goose to kill the Nissa. Passes to us. Tyrant Scorn. Well, I think it's just the Scarab God here. Opponent is empty-handed, and it is a very, very good card. Pass the turn there. Ooh, Korvold. Okay, they have to sacrifice permanent. Gets a Cauldron Familiar to hand. Runs out the Cauldron Familiar. Okay, no attacks and passes. Let's draw our card. Hinterland Harbor. That's a good one. Oh, we can recur a Frilled Mystic encounter, something that's pretty cool. Let's return Korvold to their hand, I think. Opponent's going to sack the Cauldron Familiar to draw a card. Okay. Mayhem Devil dealing damage. Let's just pass the turn there. Thoughtseize. Okay. Takes our dig through time. Fair enough. Casts a Gilded Goose. Sure. Makes a food token. Swings in for 1. Sure. Let's block. See what happens. Sacrificing the Cauldron Familiar. Deals a damage to us. Creates some food. Goes to their main phase. Casts a Trail of Crumbs. Okay. Trying to bring back the Cauldron Familiar. Okay. Adding cards to hand. Cauldron Familiar enters. We go down to 9. They play a Swamp. Casting a Woe Strider. Let's recur our Frilled Mystic. We can do this properly. Tap our lands. Frilled Mystic enters. Counter the Woe Strider. Go to our turn. They lose life equal to the zombies we control. We're going to put Watery Grave to the bottom. We draw an Overgrown Tomb. Go to combat. Attack with both. Let's block them with the Cauldron Familiar. Let's play an Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Let's Swift End the Mayhem Devil. And then let's recur the Woe Strider. Getting ourselves a goat. Pass the turn there. Korvold. They got a sacrifice. Get to get a bunch of cards to hand. Gilded Goose. Cauldron Familiar. Hard cast. Life total's looking pretty low here. Passing to us. We're going to get to Scry. Let's put Blacklance to the bottom. Put Whirlwind Denial on top. So then if they sacrifice Cauldron Familiar, they get 2 entering triggers. Go down to 2. And they sacrifice again. Okay, it's not looking great. Let's just recur a Mayhem Devil. It's getting a lot of triggers. Let's... We can't beat the flyer though, can we? That's the issue. It has flying, and we have no removal. Well, let's try and counter anyway. Yep, opponent's bringing it back. I think I didn't notice it had flying, so yeah, we're dead. We're dead. All right, bring an Extinction Event. Sorcerer's Spyglass, I guess. Cry of the Canarium seems good. Disallow Vraska. Opt. Anticipate. Curate. Censor. Mire Triton. Bring in Disdainful Stroke. Over Supreme Will. Run it back like that. Won the die roll. Let's go first. Reveal our Lutri. Sure, we can keep this. Let's play Triome tapped. Pass the turn there. Pathway into a Gilded Goose for our opponent. Passes the turn there. Let's go Drowned Catacombs. Pass the turn. Opponent casts a Trail of Crumbs. We're just going to counter that, I think. Oh, no, we can't. We'll let that go. Sure. Fabled Passage. Passing it there. Let's Petty Theft the Trail of Crumbs. Go to our turn. Watery Grave. Untapped. Pass the turn there. Opponent cracks the Fabled Passage. Gets themselves a Swamp. Trail of Crumbs. Let's just attempt to counter that. That worked. Go to our turn. Play an Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Let's Bloodchief Thirsts the Gilded Goose. Pass the turn there. Another Trail of Crumbs. Sure, you can have that. MTGO is freaking out. They get to make a food. They play a Fabled Passage. I mean, look at this. Look at the Exile Zone can be played. They're struggling today. Can we move this somewhere else? We can move it down here so it's less distracting, I guess. Go into their end step. Let's just cast the Brazen Borrower. Go to our turn. Putrefy. Let's play Breeding Pool untapped. Cast the Hypnotic Sprite. Go to combat. Swing in for 3. Opponent takes it down to 17. Pass the turn there. They're cracking the Fabled Passage. Sure, let's see if this works. Whirlwind Denial. All right. I like Whirlwind Denial a lot. It blows up lands. Opponent does nothing and passes to us. Rankle. Let's cast Rankle. Go to combat. Swing in for a bunch. Okay. Let's draw a card and lose a life. All right, got Cry of the Canarium as well. Pass the turn there. And opponent scoops it up. Go to sideboard. I really liked that. That was good. Yeah, let's just run it back like that. Reveal our Lutri. 1 lander we're not keeping. No lander we're not keeping. We'll keep this one. Let's put Watery Grave to the bottom. Hinterland Harbor to the bottom. Hope we draw well. Lightstep Pathway into a Cauldron Familiar. Okay. Pass to us. Let's play a Watery Grave tapped. pass the turn there. Timber Crown Pathway, and they're just going to combat, swinging for 1, okay? And yes, they're just passing. Hinterland Harbor, pass the turn there. They swing in for 1, okay? Overgrown Tomb, tapped, and they pass. Spell we can't cast, we'll pass the turn. Opponent swings in for 1, we'll take it. Down to 16. Gilded Goose, okay? Sure, get a food token. Go to our turn. Disdainful Stroke, okay, well, we're passing. Opponent goes to combat, swings in for 1, we will take it. Down to 15. Woe Strider resolves, and then we will destroy it before it makes any goats. They're sacrificing the Cauldron Familiar to scry 1, and now the Woe Strider goes away. They get a goat. Go to our turn. Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Pass the turn there. Overgrown Tomb from our opponent. Binding of the Old Gods. It's Disdainful Stroke that. Pass the turn there. Breeding Pool. Sure, let's go untapped. Pass the turn there. Nightpack Ambusher has flash, so if they don't do anything, we can flash that in. Woe Strider. Okay, sure, you've got a Woe Strider. Passing to us, let's flash in the Ambusher. Heartless Act. Let's just pass the turn, get ourselves a wolf. Opponent's sack and scry. Binding of the Old Gods. Let's disallow that. Opponent's cracking the clue for a witch's oven. Okay, passing to us. Questing Beast as well. Let's go to combat. Swing in. Opponent's going to block with a goat. Sacrifice the goat to make a food token. Okay, takes 3. End step, make a wolf. Abrupt Decay the witch's oven. Pass the turn there. Cracking a clue for red mana. Corvold. Can we drown in the loch that? I think we can. Maths is for the computer to work out. And opponent scoops it up there. Well, we got there. Scary game 1, but yeah, we got there. All right, we've lost the die roll. Going to reveal our Lutri. I think we can get away with this one. We will keep. Opponent plays a swamp into a Thoughtseize. Can't get away from Thoughtseize formats, apparently. Taking the Torrential Gearhulk. Okay. Passing to us. Let's play a Watery Grave tapped. Pass the turn there. Swamp from our opponent. And they pass to us. Let's just play an island and pass. Blast Zone. Thoughtseize. Okay. Takes the Mire Triton. Or Mire Triton. Just passing. Well, run out the Paragon. Opponent casts a Liliana's Triumph. Okay, let's play a Breeding Pool tapped. Pass the turn there. A Deadlands, and they pass to us. Let's play a Hinterland Harbor, pass back to them, and they're doing nothing and passing to us. Well, let's cycle the Censor now. Rankle. Go to our turn. Teferi. Sure, I'll just cast Teferi now. Tick it up. Sure, opponent's going to destroy it. That's fine. Get Curate out of here. Play Overgrown Tomb tapped. Pass the turn. Fabled Passage. They crack it. Get themselves a swamp. Liliana Vess. Okay. Target player discards a card. Let's get rid of Ultimate Price. Go to our turn. Oh, our own Murderous Rider. Don't mind if I do. Oh, hang on. Let's cast Swift End. Pass the turn there. Swamp from our opponent. Casts the Murderous Rider. Go to our turn. Supreme Will. Let's Abrupt Decay their Murderous Rider. Pass the turn back to them. Opponent's putting a bunch of counters on the Blast Zone. Just passing. Well, Supreme Will. Let's get Negate. Put the rest to the bottom. Putrefy. Sure, let's just run out Murderous Rider here. Pass the turn there. Castle Lochthwain. Putting 2 -1/-1 counters on our Murderous Rider. Okay. Passing to us. Let's try for a Rankle with no negate protection. Swing in with both because why not? Send a message. Put the Rankle trigger on a stack. Each player loses a life and draws a card. Dig through time. Okay. Well, we'll just pass the turn there. Thoughtseize. Probably going to take our dig through time. Sure did. Another Blast Zone. They just passed the turn there. Okay. Frilled Mystic, not bad. Let's go to combat. Swing in for 3. Opponent takes it. We're gonna draw a card, and I think that's it. Play a Hinterland Harbor. Pass the turn there. Opponent's got to have something impressive here. Puts 2 counters on the Blast Zone. Okay. Plays a Dreadlands. Gifted Aetherborn. Let's putrefy that. Go to our turn. Another land. Let's go to combat. Yep. Opponent's going to blow up the Blast Zone to kill our Rankle. Let's play a Watery Grave. Untapped. Get the Lutri to hand. Pass the turn there. Gifted Aetherborn. Okay. And nothing. All right. Let's eliminate the Aetherborn. Pass the turn there. Opponent has a Fatal Push for our Murderous Rider. Sure. That's absolutely fine. Puts a counter on the Blast Zone. Attempts to cast a Liliana of the Dark Realms. Just negate it. They tapped their Dreadlands, so we'll just run out out Lutri for no value. Drowned Catacombs, go to combat, swing in, take it down to 1, pass the turn there. Blast Zone up to 3, Field of Ruin, targeting the Overgrown Tomb. Sure, we'll add black, no basics. Let's cast a Sultai Charm, draw 2, discard 1. Fatal Push on the Lutri. Well, let's Frilled Mystic that. Can you beat all that opponent? No, they cannot. Okay, to sideboarding. I like the board wipes, and I think Sorcerer's Spyglass is pretty essential. Disallow's good. Disdainful Stroke is good. I think Extinction Event might be necessary. And Vraska. Curate. Anticipate. Opt. Go away. Censor can leave. Negate's good. Supreme Will, probably not great. Let's get rid of Mire Triton. Blacklance again. Run it back like that. All right, let's reveal Lutri. So we're probably going to get hand-hated to Oblivion, so we'll keep anyway. Swamp into Thoughtseize. Takes the Scarab God. Passes to us. Let's play a Breeding Pool tapped. Pass the turn there. Fabled Passage. They crack it. Get themselves a Swamp. Pass the turn. Watery Grave tapped. Also pass the turn. Field of Ruin. Liliana of the Last Hope. This could be a problem. Could certainly be a problem. Go to our turn. Hypnotic Sprite. Bit too late there, bud. Hinterland Harbor. Pass the turn. Thoughtseize. Let's counter it. Opponent ticks up the Liliana. Passes the turn to us. Triome, which I guess we can play. Pass the turn there. Ticking up the Liliana. Casting another Liliana. Okay, ticking up. Let's Sultai Charm. Draw 2, discard 1. Oh, that's a lot of lands. Let's discard the Overgrown Tomb. Let's discard the island. Go to our turn. Oi. Woodland Cemetery. I mean, we can cast the Hypnotic Sprite, but then the Liliana just kills it. Pass the turn there. Opponent's going to make us discard. Breeding Pool goes away. Ticking up the Liliana. Passes the turn there. Negate. So play Hinterland Harbor. Pass the turn, I suppose. Or let's cast the Hypnotic Sprite this turn. Pass it there. Opponent makes us sack the Sprite and discard a card. Let's get rid of Bontus. Suppose we could have countered that, couldn't we? That's what counters are for their chip, to counter spells. Castle Lochthwain cashes in the Last Hope. Okay, just straight up casting a Murderous Rider. Okay, let's get rid of Negate. Go to our turn. Bloodchief's Thirst, and we scoop it up. Wow, we just didn't hit anything. Gross. Well, our creatures died to Liliana anyway. Maybe a Shifting Ceratops over a Putrefy. Run it back like that. Won the die roll. Let's play first. Lutri, thank you. Suppose Lutri had Flash, so could have got it to hand and cast it. Yeah, maybe we made a mistake last game. Sure, we'll keep this one. Breeding Pool. Tapped. Pass the turn. Swamp. Thoughtseize. Take our best card, opponent. Take the Teferi. Okay. Passes back to us. Breeding Pool. Untapped, I guess. Pass the turn there. Fabled Passage. They crack it. Get a Swamp. Nothing. Okay. Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Pass the turn. Fabled Passage. They crack it. Get themselves a Swamp. Pass to us. Hinterland Harbor and pass. Blast Zone. Liliana. Let's cast a Mission Briefing. Put Whirlwind Denial in the graveyard. Put Hinterland Harbor on top. Sure, we're going to discard a card. Let's discard Cling to Dust. Go to our turn. Play the Hinterland Harbor. Pass the turn. Swamp from our opponent. Lost Legacy. Okay, I wonder what they name. Oh, we could have got Lutri to hand again as well. I keep forgetting that. Vraska. Interesting. Interesting. Gonna make us discard? Sure, I'll ditch Ultimate Price. Gonna dig through time here. Ultimate Price, Mission Briefing, Teferi, Whirlwind. Oh, we don't need to get rid of Whirlwind, do we? So, dig through time, get rid of Teferi, Mission Briefing, and Ultimate Price. Look at the top 7. All right, they got rid of our Torrential Gearhulk. That's fine. Questing Beast, Drown in the Loch. Thank you very much. Put the others back in any order. Brazen Borrower. Let's cast Questing Beast. Go to combat. Attack our opponent. Belt that Liliana. Pass the turn there. Leyline of the Void. Okay. I'm going to discard Brazen Borrower. Go to our turn. Assassin's Trophy. Okay. Let's go to combat. Attack our opponent. Take out the Liliana. Get Lutri to hand. Pass the turn there. Opponent is empty-handed. They play a Swamp. Pass to us. Oh, Nissa's not bad. Play Nissa. Tick up Nissa. Go to combat. Swing in. They take it down to 3 and we pass the turn there. Can you beat that opponent? Gets the Blast Zone up to 3. It's not going to do it. And opponent scoops it up. There we go. That was a tough one, but we got there. Alrighty, Toppin's Bug Lutri Flash deck. What did we think? Well, it's a Pioneer deck, so I was pretty inexperienced. I'm really, really bad at Commander, and you've given me a Singleton deck in a format where you don't have to play Singleton. Thanks. You've given me a chore. It's good. I have a lot of fun playing it. The format's a little strange. It's my first time playing the format. Test games, every single deck was some sort of blue deck. And I guess because Dig Through Time are legal, the blue decks are just amazing. We ended up losing to the Aura deck, which I guess is pretty good. We had a board wipe, but we just couldn't get to it in time. And I find that happens a lot with this deck. Like, often our losses are because we just can't hit things in time. The Lutri casting a spell twice doesn't seem as good as just having 2 copies of your best spell, honestly. So not a huge fan of Lutri. Definitely found post-sideboard when we brought in more threats and answers to creatures, taking out a lot of the card selection cards. The deck played better. Games like Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff where you can get away with running things like Opt, where you just get to cycle it to draw, which would have been, I think, Jar of Greed back then. You can get away with that because, yeah, you're trading cards 1 for 1, you're using card to get a card, but it doesn't cost mana. And these ones are costing mana and you're losing tempo. And a lot of the counter spells cost 3 mana, so when you want to cast your Opt, you've got a bit of disconnect with your counter spells, and it's just a tough time trying to be able to deal with everything. Another issue I found is because it's Singleton, there is an awful lot of cards here, and because it's a format I'm not used to, there's an awful lot of cards with an awful lot of text that I don't even recognize. So sideboarding was certainly a challenge, and just playing with a companion without Aethervar was definitely a challenge. I'm certain there were a number of times that I could have got Lutri to hand and I just didn't, for no reason. Because I just forgot it was there because there's so much going on. So thank you very much for submitting the deck. It's not for me. I hope you enjoyed seeing me play it. And until next time, have fun.